Vince, what do you remember about what guys were saying in the league about this whole thing at the time, and what do you think would have happened if CP3 had joined forces with Kobe?
Well, thank goodness I have some things written down because I don't want to forget, but I'm trying to remember 2011. I was somewhere around the NBA, maybe Dallas. I could be wrong, but I do know that. But I said, like, if he goes there, first of all, I was like, wow, how are they able to do that? And that would be amazing, and that would be a cheat code with Kobe and CP3 together. I remember saying that. And if that were to happen, Kobe would have his 6th ring.
Yep.
The Lakers will add another ring to their dynasty. CP3 will definitely have a ring. And, oh, yeah, CP3 would probably still be playing for the Los Angeles Lakers right now if that were to have happened.
Some of those things might be true. Some of them might not be. I think the Lakers' grand plan was CP, Kobe, and basically make the same Dwight Howard trade they ended up making later. Don't make the Steve Nash trade that just didn't work out and cost them a lot of draft picks. So you have CP, Kobe, Dwight is a big 3. But let me ask you, is it a guarantee that they beat that Thunder team that made the finals, or the Spurs team that rose up and made back-to-back finals, or the Heat team with LeBron? I think it's a guarantee they're right in the fight with all those teams. And yeah, if things break right, they have a ring, and a ring would change Chris Paul's legacy. The entire dialogue around him would be different and less sort of ring toxic the way it is. But I don't think it's like a lock that they're winning a ring over those other teams. Those were awesome, awesome teams.
No, I agree. And it's so tough. You know, the Lakers, they've been through so much. They just can't catch a break. It's so good to be able to, like, revisit this and just see, like, could you imagine if the Lakers were able to get good players like Dwight Howard right after this, and, you know, Steve Nash could go, maybe LeBron James could go there. If only we could revisit stories about what could have been in Lakerland. Maybe they wouldn't have 17 championships.
Those were all different.
They would have 18. It's like, what are we talking about here?
Different situation.
First of all, Chris Paul, the course of his life significantly changed.
Oh, Chris is struggling?
There is that.
Chris, he's on the number 1 seed right now. Like, Chris is struggling too.
See at the moment.
They're
I'm glad you remember the top of the show. Zach, look, Jeannie was talking a lot about the role the league played. You know, we all know that the Hornets were in between ownership groups. The league had stepped in as kind of a conservator. And Jeannie made the point that we have heard for a long time. David Stern didn't veto this as commissioner. He vetoed it as governor. But the part that she was talking about that I found so interesting was other teams not having a chance to get in on the bidding, and that was a lot of the base of the frustration. That almost seems to me like a reason to have the trade go through. In a normal ownership group, you don't give everyone fair ups. I was just talking in the break to Richard. It's not like Kevin McHale gave every team in the NBA the chance to get Kevin Garnett. He called his old buddy Danny Ainge, and they made the deal. So the fact that the league owned the team and the other governors were upset as conservators of the New Orleans Hornets that they didn't get for their own teams fair ups at Chris Paul, that's way outside what would normally happen. I don't understand, Zach, why that was given as the reason that then the NBA stepped in and said no.
Well, first of all, people make fun of Kevin McHale for not canvassing the league if he didn't do that. And they should make fun of him because you absolutely should canvass the entire league. If you know you're trading a star player, and other teams have done this in other examples, you call everyone, say, best and final. This is it right now. Give me everything. And so, yeah, you absolutely should do that. This trade was like, this is why 3 and 4 team trades get so complicated, because there are too many voices, too many competing agendas. And this was a totally anomalous situation, a lockout and the league effectively acting as the steward of the team. It was an anomalous situation. It'll hopefully never happen again. It was just very, very messy.
Richard?
I'll play along. I'll play along with this hypothetical game what we're playing. And this is why I'll say this. I understand the cool thing about hearing Jeannie Buss tell this story is because a lot of people knew this. And because this was also off the heels of LeBron James leaving, Cleveland and then going to Miami. So this whole kind of talk of players leaving small markets and going to big markets. And there were owners that were upset about this, especially a bunch of the small market teams. So that's where a lot of the frustration, it wasn't that anti-Lakers, it wasn't that everybody didn't have a thing. It's like, wait a second, now the league is helping to facilitate small market teams losing players to big.
Let's not pretend that there are all kinds of trades that happen in this league where the ownership or the GM says, I'm not trading him to the Western Conference. Or that, again, to get back to the Kevin Garnett trade. The Lakers wanted Kevin Garnett, by the way, and Minnesota ownership said, I'm not trading him in the Western Conference. So not everybody gets fair ups all the time. I just found that to be a very weird reason for a trade that would have definitely affected the NBA as we know it. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.